Hi everybody, this is Allison from the Sachem Public Library. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a water bottle holder. Now these are all of the materials that you're going to need for this project. We've got our yarn, we have our yarn needle, scissors, and our hook. So let's get started. You can start off this project in one of two ways, either by chaining 4 and making your single crochets in the first chain of your chain 4, or via the magic circle. I'm going to use the magic circle. So our first step is to make our magic circle. And now what we're going to do is put 6 single crochets in our circle. So it looks a little bit like a line, but what I'm going to do is take this tail and pull it so that way it closes. So now it's this small circle. Our next round is to make 2 single crochets in each of our 6 single crochets around. So for each single crochet, we're going to put 2 single crochets in them to make 12 single crochets all the way around. Alright, now we have 12 single crochets. If you're not sure, I like to pull up a loop a little bit bigger and just count what kind of looks like little braids. Those are your stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now if you tend to lose count easily, you can put in a stitch marker into the last stitch that you made for the round, or you can take a different colored yarn and just slip it through. I'll show you what it looks like. So you can use that as a stitch marker instead. So that way, when we go to the next round, you know where your last stitch is going to be, which is where that blue yarn is. So our next round, we are going to make 1 single crochet in our next stitch, and then 2 in the second one. So now what we're going to do is repeat that all the way around. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets in the next. And we repeat this around until we have 18 single crochets. So now we have 18 around. So you can see it's now starting to make a nice circular pattern. So our next round is going to be round 4. We're going to make 1 single crochet in the next 2. So 1 single crochet in that one, 1 single crochet in the next one, and then we're going to put 2 single crochets in this one. So very similar to our last round, except we are adding an extra single crochet. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets. And we're going to follow that pattern around until we have 24 single crochets. Now we have 24 single crochets around. We're going to do one more round now. This will be round 5, where we'll put 1 single crochet in the next 3. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then in the next one we will be putting 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So we'll follow that pattern around of doing 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And at the end you should have 30 single crochets in this round. And now we have 30 single crochets for our round 5. So our next round is round 6. We're not going to be doing any more increasing. What we're going to do is just place 1 single crochet in the back loops only. So what that looks like, if you kind of take your work and you see that there are 2 loops, one here and one here, we're going to go into just this back one and make a single crochet. So you can sort of see this one is still here, but we have one in the back there. And you're just going to make 1 in each all the way around. So you will still have 30 single crochets, but they're just going to be in those back loops. And now we have our 30 in the back loops. So now our next round, which is round 7, we're just going to make 1 single crochet in each, and this time we're going to go through both loops. Okay, now I've got that last row of just the single crochet, so you can see it's sort of turning up a little bit now. Before I continue, what I'm going to do, if you're somebody who used the magic circle, you can go ahead and pull this end really tight and make a knot. And you can either weave in the end or just cut it. This tail is getting a little bit in the way. There we go. Okay, so now for round 8, this is where we're really going to start doing the water bottle shape and going to work upwards. So what we're going to do is chain 4 to start out. So we've made our chain 4. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to skip the next 2 single crochets and make 1 double crochet in the next single. So we're skipping this one and we're skipping this one, and we're going to make a double in the one after the 2 we skipped. So it'll look something like that. Then we are going to chain 1 and then skip the next single crochet and make 1 double crochet in the next single crochet. And then we'll chain 1 again. So we're going to continue this pattern around. After chaining 1, you're going to skip this one, make a double crochet in the next one, chain 1, and double crochet in the next. So you see it creates this whole pattern here. And you're going to continue that all the way around, and I'll show you how to slip stitch this round closed. Okay, so now I've gotten all the way around, and what I'm going to do is make a slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. So this is acting like a double crochet and chain 1. So you'll count up 1, 2, 3 and slip stitch into there. Just like that. So you should have 15 of these double crochet posts around. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 4 again. And then we're going to make 1 double crochet in the next space, this chain 1 space here. So you could just go right under there and make your double crochet. Then you're going to chain 1 and put another double crochet into the next chain 1 space. And you'll chain 1 and put 1 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. And you'll chain 1 and continue on to this pattern until you get to the end, and you'll slip stitch into the top of this row, just like you did on the last one. So now that we have finished round 9, as you can see, we've got 2 rows. We're going to repeat round 9 for round 10. So again, it's just chaining 4 to start out, putting a double crochet in the next chain space, chaining 1, putting a double crochet in the next chain space, and continuing on with that pattern. So you should have 3 rows of this whole pattern. Alright, so now we have all 3 of these rows of these little hole patterns. And now we're going to move on to round 11. What you're going to do is just chain 1, and then we're going to put 2 single crochets in between each double crochet. So wherever that chain 1 space is, you're going to create 2 single crochets. So I just put 2 in this one. Now I'm going to go to this chain 1 space and put 2 in here. Now you don't have to go into the actual stitch, you can just go right under it and create your 2, and you're going to do that all the way around. So now I have 2 single crochets in each of those chain 1 spaces around. And now for round 12, I'm just going to chain 1, and then I'm just going to make 1 single crochet in each of those single crochets I just made around. So it's almost like you're making 2 in those chain 1 spaces, but you're just going into those single crochets all the way around, and you should have 30 stitches still by this round. Okay, I'm going to close off this round by doing a slip stitch right into here. And now I've got those 2 rows of singles. So now what we're going to do for round 13 is actually repeat round 8. So what round 8 was chaining 4. Then we're going to skip 2 single crochets and put 1 double crochet into the 3rd stitch. So what we did down here, we're going to do up here again. We're just repeating that. Then we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and put 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip the next stitch, put 1 double crochet in, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and we're just repeating this pattern all the way around again. Okay, so now I'm done with that round. So now we're going to repeat round 9. So this is going to be for round 14, but we are going back and just repeating round 9. So for that we are chaining 4. We are putting 1 double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chaining 1, putting 1 double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chaining 1, and following this pattern around. So we're getting more of this whole pattern. Okay, so now I've just finished off that round, and we're actually going to do round 9 one more time. So we have the 3 rows of double crochets like we do down here. We're going to do one more up top, and remember again, it's just chaining 4 in the beginning, putting 1 double crochet in that chain 1 space, chaining 1, putting 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, chaining 1, and continuing around. And now we have that last row of double crochets done. So we've got 3 on the bottom here, now 3 up top. So what we're going to do for our next round is actually repeat round 11, which was chaining 1 and putting 2 single crochets in the chain 2 spaces all the way around. So 2 there, 2 there, and continuing that pattern all the way around. Now remember, you should have 30 single crochets. So you should have 15 double crochets when you do that double crochet round, when you're doing those. And now I'm going to slip stitch, and we're going to go to round 17, which is actually just a repeat of round 12. Round 12 was just chaining 1 and putting 1 single crochet in each single crochet around. So again, you're just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and again, you should only have 30 stitches in this round. Now I'm going to slip stitch this closed. So now we have rounds 1 through 17. Now you can continue repeating these. So after you do these 2, what you would do is go back and repeat rounds 8, 9, and 10, then 11 and 12, depending on how big you want your water bottle holder to be. So if you have a bigger water bottle and you want to make it longer, then you can continue and make another 3 rounds of the doubles and 2 of the singles. You want to make sure that you're ending with the 2 single crochet rounds. What I'm going to show you right now is how to do the strap. So to make the strap, what you're going to do is chain 2. You're going to make 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 more in the next 5 stitches. So you should have a total of 6 . There we go. 6 double crochets. Now what you're going to do is chain 2, put 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 in each across those next 5. So what you're going to be doing is repeating this until you have it at a length that you desire, though I do recommend making it slightly shorter than you would imagine, because if you have a full water bottle, the strap will stretch a few inches. So if you make it too long, then the water bottle might be hitting the ground. So I recommend making it a little bit shorter than you think you might need. Now that I have my strap at the desired length that I want it, what I'm going to do is pull up a loop here on my hook. I'm going to take my scissors, cut a long tail, and then I'm just going to tie it into a knot. So now what you're going to do is take your yarn needle and thread the end into your needle. And what you're going to do is fold your holder so you can kind of get a good middle point of where the front, the strap where you started, and then the stitches from the other side that will correspond. Remember, it's 6 double crochets. So what you're going to do is take your end and put it through your first one. Kind of line up those stitches like that. And then go into the second one. Then you'll go into the third one. I know it could be a little tricky, but you can move this around to help you get a better idea of where your needle is supposed to go. And I'm almost finished. The last one. And I'm going to pull it just so it's a little bit tighter, so it's not so loose. And then I'm going to, with my yarn still threaded, make a knot at the end. And then what I'll do is to hide this tail. You could just cut it, but I want to hide it first and then cut. I'm going to take my yarn needle and just kind of push it through over here. So I want to hide that seam. And just go underneath these first loops here. Just a couple of them. And pull that through. And then I can cut it. And that's it. So now you have your own crocheted water bottle holder. Now remember, if you want to make it bigger, smaller, you can do that by repeating those rounds, so you can add another 3 rounds, and to end off with those single crochet rounds.